Hi, this is Kerry Artag with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. Before I jump into all the charts, I just want to encourage you to please click like if you would every time you watch the daily Apple report and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. Also, share the content if you would with friends and colleagues. And last thing I'll say, check out wickedstocks.com. We put out a lot of material every day and throughout the week that you never see on YouTube. Triple Q, SPY analysis, S&P 500, two individual stock picks a week that never show up. Over the last couple of weeks, we've done applied materials. We've done Monday.com, Google, Microsoft, so forth and so on. Anyway, let's jump to the charts. Start with the big picture, work our way in. I like to start with the big picture. It is the long-term trends that are the undercurrent of the market. And we did come off of a targeted long-term support region in early January in the lower 120s. It had been an objective since October. We tested it. It doesn't look like it's so much on this chart, but on the daily chart, other formations were tested that were of similar strength. And following that test, I was mentioning how this 170.42 channel top should be considered in reach by some point in 23. And we're, 2/3 of the way there almost. On the way up, as you recall, we had a meaningful long-term descending 1/3 speed line and channel top. This zone I was allowing for, if you will, the possibility of topping out here through March and back into the low 120s again. That obviously didn't happen. We had the settlement above the 138.57 speed line a few weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago, we closed above this 143.22 channel top, actually gapped above it and really haven't looked back since. And so on the way up now, and I'll just continue with the big picture, we have this channel top I'm not really weighting this very much. It is there. We're trading both sides of it a lot. It's lacked a sort of reliability, if you will. But I think what may well be reliable is the low 160s. And I consider this area in reach by the end of next week if we settle today above 153.36. Remember, this is an objective anyway. And so, I'm going to get to the day and the week itself in just a moment, but just know that this 160s is in reach by the end of March or sooner, holding above this 138.57 to 143.22 region. The big question, though, is are we going to fall back into this zone anytime soon? And I'll get to that in a moment as well. But if we close above 153.36, the low 160s likely by the end of next week. And on the downside, if we close below 148.52, we should see 143.22 within this week. Let's actually take a look at the daily chart. And we have this convergence of these two short-term channel structures. I've rounded up at 153.36. That is this channel bottom coming up. There's also this one coming down at 153.09. That area can absorb buying still into later week. And from here, I've reconsidered whether or not this thing's going to sell off in a big way. And I really think that there's a near-term backstop right now that I can show here on the same chart at 148.52. So the way I see this structured now is we've got this down arrow should actually be more representing this formation here, but it's really difficult to put both of them on the same chart without looking like a big mess. You might think it looks like a big mess anyway, but let's just say holding below 153.36 will keep 148.52 in reach over the next 3 to 5 days, possibly today. All of these minor points are carefully chosen, legitimate, valid day trade levels, but they lack pivot point quality. So just know that holding below 153.36 does allow 148.52 within the day, but it will keep it as a likely downside objective over the next few days, 148.52 over the next few days below 153.36. So whatever that means to you, if you are a swing trader, these are the levels to play off of. 148.82 you can buy into later week. We can come off of here back into the 153 handle. Now this is a pretty dynamic area right now and it's changing pretty aggressively. So what's at 153.36 today may be altered as we move into tomorrow. I don't like to change these too radically, but sometimes you just have to based on what you see on the charts. For instance, if we break to this 148.52 today, then the channel top, this trend line coming down, which will still be in sort of the mid 150s, will be our next upward pivot point, if you catch my drift. Now, if we do close today below 148.52, then yes, that 143.22 level is likely within about 3 to 5 days. And 143.22 is once again this channel top here, and it is the start of a zone of long-term support down to 138.57 that can absorb selling through the second quarter. And from here, we can turn back up again, that 172.85 formation in reach within 3 to 5 months, let's say, of testing the upper 130s, low 140s. But I'm not expecting to see that area. Just want to remind you, I'm not expecting you to see the 143.22 level unless we settle today below 148.52. Until then, we could trade back and forth between 148.52 and the 153 handle resistance. If we do close today above 153.36, and we may. Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Apple report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today. Let's talk about the day itself. Pushing, especially opening today above 153.36, should yield 157.50. And 157.50 is this high. I think that was October high, late October high. We have to go way back. We came close to testing it a few weeks ago. We fell shy of that. 157.50, just a mere intraday resistance level. And if we close today above 153.36, 160.72 is likely by the end of next week or sooner, possibly by the end of this week. That 160.72 is a long-term descending one-third speed line in correlation, really, with a long-term 5/8 Fibonacci AB, that all-time high against the recent January low. In the low 160s, if we test it by the end of the week, that area can absorb buying through next week, possibly into later March, and we could fall off from there. So that's where your 2 to 3 week time frame traders, 2 to 3 week position traders, if you're holding a long position, you may consider neutralizing that, liquidating that, and even going short, perhaps buying a 143 or 140 out of the money put that doesn't expire for at least a couple of months, perhaps. But also know that if we close above 160.72, that is consistent with this 172.88 overall long-term objective, which remains a 3 to 5 month target above 138.57 to 143.22. So closing above 160.72, we're probably 2 to 3 weeks away from reaching 172.88, where Apple could actually top out through the second quarter and possibly into later year. Downside, I'm going to cover this one more time, and that is to say that if we do close today below 148.52, 143.22 is likely by the end of next week. That is the start of a zone down to 138.57 that presents a meaningful buy opportunity for, I'm going to call, not only longer term investors, but those who trade the 2 to 3 month time horizon. Whatever time horizon it might be, it could be 2 to 3 weeks where we get a pop back to the upside, so forth and so on. And I want to mention that 138.57, 143.22 is also consistent right now with this rising speed line at 140.81. So this area is narrowing gradually. 140.81 is rising. We'll be converging over the next week with 143.22. So keep that in mind. If we close below, and I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you, I know. If we close below 148.22, 143.22 likely by the end of next week, and that is the start of a narrowing zone of longer-term support down to 140.81 that can absorb selling, as I say, through the second quarter, and above which, anticipating the low 170s as a 3 to 5 month objective. This is a good image for that. Holding above this area here, 130s, 140s, maintains a 3 to 5 month objective at 172.88. And that's really old news for those of you who've been watching the Daily Apple Report for the last month or so. I think that pretty much rounds it out for Tuesday's did I say Tesla? Tuesday's Apple report. I'll be back tomorrow with Wednesdays. Please click like and subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com, and I'll be back tomorrow.